What's up, what's up? Welcome to a review with your boy Ing Vendetta. This is a special kind of review. This is really something I'm excited about. It is season 1, episode 1 of The Walking Dead. If you're thinking about a perfect opening for a series, season 1 of episode 1 is the one. Why? Well, it's super simple, to be honest. We have this cup, right? The idea of Walking Dead is as always, it will always be Rick is a police officer. Rick, which is the main character. Rick Grimes, a fucking legend. Andrew Lincoln, amazing actor. He's this police officer, and this world is a world in the apocalypse. What do we do? Do we stay human, or do we become animals to survive? Do we do the unthinkable? Do we kill? Do we steal? Do we do what we have to do to survive, or do we follow a morality law, or we keep on being good human, because at the end, if you're good, something good was gonna happen. Rick is a police officer and he's a sheriff, so you would think that he is a symbol of morality. He is the enforcer of the law, a law that keeps us safe, a law that's unfair, a law that sometimes is overexerting his power, but still a law that prevents chaos. Chaos is great. Chaos is amazing in a society where you can rely on others. Chaos is great when you have a home to come back to, where you got your food, where you got TV, where you got internet, where you got YouTube, where you got Netflix, right? We should have TikTok stream. This is great. But in a world where there's nothing but things trying to eat you out there, chaos isn't the best, right? We love chaos because we're able to control it. We're able to say stop. We're able to go back home and relax. But in this world, you can't. So the series starts with Rick and Shane, played by Jason Burton. I am massacring his last name. I apologize. I fucking love that character. Shane is one of my favorite characters in the show. A lot of people disagree. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Nothing. You ain't gonna do shit about it. You know? Why? Because Shane is willing to survive, and he's willing to go further than Rick. Rick reminds me of a Jedi. The Jedi are blinded by this purity, and this purity is stopping them from becoming the best person they can be, because again, they overexert themselves to be playing fair, and when people cheat, well, you should cheat too, which is a review on Skinny vs. Penny. It's the exact same case, right? People are not playing fair, and Rick's like, oh yeah, we should have to play fair. Now, we have the two of them going in and on and on about how the life is shitty. Shane can't find a girl. Rick is having relationship issue with his wife, and she's taking it out on her kid, which is horrible. Again, horrible. But they're having this shitty life, and they both it's kind of cool that the show starts with a with them talking. It's kind of cool that we're seeing this this bromance going on, because Rick and Shane are arguably the main character of the first couple of seasons. Right, and then we have Rick, who gets shot, who ends up in the hospital. The way the hospital work is amazing, because I believe that if the show starts, so the show's about a zombie apocalypse. I believe that if the show starts, right, and we have the zombie apocalypse, and it's already happening, it's kind of overwhelming. The fact that we're having Rick, which is a good excuse as to why we have this pandemic and we don't know nothing about it. Kind of cool, because Rick missed the infection, missed the outbreak. I would have loved to see the outbreak. Before I see the outbreak, you have to check Fear of the Walking Dead. Don't check Walking Dead, because you're not gonna find it. I think it's amazing that we're getting this explanation through the eye of a guy that I know nothing about. I think it's cool that we get to see the hospital and the dead rising above. I think it's cool that Morgan is the one to explain to us, because Morgan has been there. Rick goes into the sorry, we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. As I said, I think it's amazing that we see the world, what it's becoming through the eyes of a guy. We're discovering the world little by little, just by like Rick when he's visiting the hospital, and we're not sure how he was saved. We're not sure how he survived. He somehow survived, and that's really cool, right? So we're getting this a situation where we're having Rick, and he's like, oh well, guess what? I'm gonna discover the world. I'm gonna try to find my family, because he's a family guy, and it's kind of cool because we have in the first scene complaining about his wife, and the first thing that he does is trying to find his wife. So he go back to his home. The way out, he's in a fucking gown, gets beat up by Dwayne, which is the son of Morgan. Morgan, the fact that Morgan is this amazing character who tells Rick, yo, this is what's going on. So we're learning we're learning the things as along with Rick. And it's kind of cool that it's not just Morgan telling us, right? We saw a couple of zombies. We saw the bicycle girl, which was a phenomenal. I still remember people talking about it at school. That was over 10 years ago. And I think it's phenomenal that we saw things, we don't know what they are. Then Morgan's like, yeah, it was zombie. I think that Dwayne being there is kind of cool because Morgan knows that Rick is a father. Rick already trusts Morgan because he's a father. Already thinks that Morgan's a good person because he let him live. The fact that Morgan took no risk, I think tying up Rick, I think for somebody normal, be like, yo, these people are crazy. Even if they tie me up, even if they free me, it's hard to understand. It's hard to understand as a person. You don't know the pandemic, you don't know the zombies, so it's hard to understand that even if after being explained, you still tie me up, right? And it's a weird thing. However, you get the scene where you understand that Rick will be doing the same for Carl, which is his son, right? We get the explanation, we get the fact that the zombies are outside, we get the fact that it's kind of cool. It's so well put. The first episode is a masterpiece. Why? Because of small details. For example, the wife of Morgan, the mother of Dwayne, is a zombie. So right away we can understand that maybe Lori, which is Rick's wife, could be there. Maybe Lori could be out. And again, I want to reiterate, Rick was saying how much he hated his wife, but just realizing that, yeah, I hated my wife, and now I'm up. She might be in danger, and I still want to save her. I think it speaks of the character. And sure, he's a police officer, that's his job. But I do think it speaks as a man who puts family in front of everything else. Rick, spoiler alert, along the show becomes more shaded, more jaded. But he still stays a great father. If anything, Rick's a great father. If anything, Rick will always be there for Carl. And I think that's something we can move on. I think that's something that we can agree that is super important because we're in the apocalypse right here, right now. So again, then we're learning the kind of cool because Morgan take care of Rick and Rick take care of Morgan. We get the scene of the shower, it's super fun. The small moments like that, we understand how precious it is in the apocalypse. We have the gun, so he's not unarmed. We have the fact that he puts on the uniform is, to me, super symbolic. And yes, I've watched the show, so my opinion is already formed on a lot of the character, a lot of what's going on. But the fact that in the first season, the first episode, he puts back the uniform, and to him that uniform, later on he's gonna say without his wedding ring he feels naked. I think it's the same way the uniform still means something to him, and you understand that the world is changing, the apocalypse is going on, but that uniform means something, right? The second he can wear the uniform, he gets the uniform, right? And he's gonna wear it for so long, for so fucking long. And it's kind of cool because we're in a scene where he has this radio. We can see Shane. We recognize Shane from the very first scene. We know Shane is alive, so that's a great news, right? And it's kind of cool that they're putting us like, they don't even say, oh, it's Shane. It's a police walkie. This is your friend talking to us. He's more like, yo, we know that it's Shane, that we understand that it's Shane. If you didn't pay attention in the beginning, you don't know that it's Shane. But most of us pay attention, right? So yeah, so we got the going to Atlanta, and in Atlanta we end up in a war zone. The reason why we're going to Atlanta, maybe Lori and Carl are there, and the way they explain, which is fantastic. This is a little spoiler for episode 3, but fuck it, right? They took the picture with them, so that means Steve wouldn't take picture, right? Because he means nothing. I think it's kind of cool that Rick is smart enough to understand that. I think it's kind of cool that to Rick that he's able to analyze that, right? It means something to me. It means something to you guys, I hope. We have this character, this amazing character development where Ricky is about to, right? But then somebody came on the radio, and it's so cool because so far we know that Morgan's alive, but when we're stuck in Atlanta, stuck in a tank, it's horrible. It's kind of fun. There's a reason that he carries a lot of guns. So there's something I find weird. Yes, I understand it's a war zone. Maybe he thought that was people in Atlanta, but if he was alone and they're focused on taking bullets, why take so much guns? Maybe he thought there was going to be people in Atlanta, and maybe he thought that having those weapons would help them and not him. Because as a person, how many weapons do you need? Borderland, you have 4. should be okay with 4. But yeah, so we have this amazing episode where we get stuck in a tank and he's able to end it all, right? And he should end it all because he's stuck there. It's gonna die either way. Might as well die on his term. And then we have the voiceover. Are you done making noise, asshole? We know who he is, right? But in that very moment, it's a badass. So the first episode is a really good opening. We understand a little of the world. We're learning a lot about Rick. We're seeing how righteous he is. I love the relationship between Rick and Morgan because it's humanity, right? There's still some good left. I was talking about Walking Dead, why it's so good, because do we stay kind? Do we stay good people? Or do we end up becoming monsters to survive? And there's a chemistry between Morgan and Rick. Again, they're two fathers. They understand each other. They understand that, yo, we're both gonna kill for our son, right? And it's I think it's kind of cool that we're getting this. I don't know if it would change if it was a mother. I mean, I don't know. It's a good question. It's a really good question, actually. I don't know. What I do know is that it's a phenomenal first episode. It's a really good introduction to the series. It's a really good ending to the introduction. And hopefully this video made you happy. I love you guys. Peace.